utter opposite. And now you can see Trump, he'll be ushering in peace between Ukraine and Russia. I do believe Ukraine, Zelensky, the deep state players, they are the problem in all of this. And it looks like they are now going to meet out in Alaska. And I
Well, hold on. Let's stop
Trump
this for a minute because I happen to know a little bit about this.
join the meeting.
That,
Definitely.
you know, some of our viewers may not know.
Okay.
But one of the reasons why Russia attacked Ukraine is because NATO wants to put bombs right on the borderline, and Russia said no.
Okay.
Just like when Russia brought missiles to Cuba, and the United States said, "Get them out of here. We're gonna bomb you." Well, it's the same shit that Putin was saying. Take them out, take them out, take them out. They didn't want to take them. So what's happening is NATO wants to expand their control of Europe like that. You know what I'm saying? So they do want to infringe on Russia's territory. You know, because here's the thing: a lot of people talk about war. But the United States has been in a war ever since World War I. Every year they've been in a war, and now when they the only reason that we've been in war in the Middle East is because in 1972 Richard Nixon changed the backing of the American dollar from gold to oil.
That's key.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a key factor.
So that's why we're there. We're not there because they're our friends. Nobody wants the U.S. there. And then
they
Israel
nowhere.
doesn't have one friend in the world. And they're very close to dragging this country into a huge war that the United States is not going to win. You know what I'm saying? Because it'll be literally damn near the whole world against Israel and the United, because they don't have nobody else.
I beg to differ with that.
Okay, well, let's hear it, brother.
I think
because
our military is unstoppable.
It doesn't matter, brother. It's not about how strong your military is. It's about the reason that this is going on. See, we had no reason to bomb the Iranians, right? We had no reason to bomb Saddam Hussein.
Didn't they bomb?
We had no reason to kill Gaddafi. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know about Gaddafi. They listen, they had free electricity. They went to school for free their whole life. They had free medical care. The reason that they killed Gaddafi, brother, is because Gaddafi was one of the Africans that wanted to have an African Union, and they want to trade in gold, not in oil. So when you trade in gold and not in oil, you fuck up the American economy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they killed Saddam Hussein. Where are the weapons of mass destruction, Mario?
Who said that? Where did they get that information from? There's this guy being investigated right now called James Clapper.
Right, but
he was involved in saying he was one of the intelligence that told them there's
brother, it doesn't matter who said it.
It does.
Well, the reason that I say that,
two sides.
Right? No, I get that.
I mean, you know what I mean. There's not a clear two sides. Yes, there's bad Republicans too. I understand that.
Yeah.
That's not without a doubt. But the two sides that I'm talking about is the side that has been making all those wars happen consistently, constantly, over and over and over, that are the elite powerful, that have the money, that make the bullets, that make the guns, that make the helmets, that make the tanks, they already set up making that stuff, and they have nothing but interest in keeping us at war so that they can continue to profit off of war. And
today, brother, in the news, and you can look this up, right? Germany is not going to send Israel any kind of support, no weapons, nothing. You know what I'm saying? The Irish were the first ones to do it. The French have been pushing, sanctions against. They want Netanyahu arrested, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's going on in Palestine. And so here's the kind of shit that we have to think about as black people, right? As people of color, right? In the beginning of the war between Israel or the genocide of Israel against the Palestinians, right? All the white countries all said the same thing. They all said Israel has a right to defend itself.
They don't?
Yeah, of course. But here's the thing. They stopped there. All the black and brown countries around the world said Israel has a right to defend itself. But so doesn't anybody else.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No, but that's...
Oh, nobody else? No, everybody has the right to defend themselves.
But the way that...
Every country. No matter what country.
Look, speaking of my son, man, he's right here. Okay. Son, I'm doing a podcast with one of your friends, old friends, Mario. He played basketball with you.
Yeah, Mario.
Yeah.
What up, Lou?
The barber there?
Yes.
The barber.
Nice, man. What's going on?
What's going on, man? Long time.
Yeah, man.
How you doing? Good? Chilling?
Yeah, taking it easy. Just calling my father to see how he's doing.
Yes, sir.
I'm good.
Yes, sir.
I'm good. I'll call you later, son. Let me finish.
All right, Dad. Yeah, do your thing.
Okay, peace.
All right, Pops.
So we have to look at stuff like that, because even now, when the whole world is condemning what's going on over there, because see, people got us fucked up with a lot of shit, Mario. If you a Democrat or a Republican, you a fool, because you support a criminal organization.
Either way.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And then as a Spanish-speaking person from an island that's a colony of this country, then when you support the Democrats or the Republicans, you're supporting the same stupid motherfuckers that keep your country a slave-like status.
Okay.
But they can't even figure shit like that out.
Absolutely.
Because they got us fucked up here. So what we have to learn to do, brother, is I recommend, man, that young brothers and sisters like you, young people like you, that you listen to Dr. James Small. There's a brother named Joshua Mapanga. He's an African brother. He used to be a bishop for like 30 years. And he left that religion because he figured out it was all false. You know what I'm saying? But when he talks, brother, he makes you feel connected. Remember when I said earlier to you that your only purpose in life is to figure out how to get connected? Because being connected means that you're connected to everything that's alive in the universe. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who you are. You're part of this universe. You're not just a Boricua, or you're not just an American, or whatever you call yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're part of a bigger picture. And so the first universal rule, brother, is do no harm. So do no harm means do no harm to nothing.
Love thy brother.
Well, love the planet. Love the planet.
Love thy neighbor. Do unto others the golden rule.
Well, stuff like that is cool, but it's love the planet, because the planet is what sustains you, is what gives you life.
Remember, we've come up on that golden rule. Do unto others as you have done unto you, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there's places that they do stuff that they would like done to them, that they don't mind. It's not that big a deal, so they infringe on your beliefs.
No. Yeah.
And then again, that rule is kind of blurry. The line is blurry. It could be you want him to do that, or again, but everybody's different and everywhere is different. So
well, this is what I would say to all your listeners out here, Mario. I just came back from Ghana in West Africa. And Ghanaians are the friendliest people in the world, bar none. They make you feel welcome. They make you feel loved. They tell you all the time, thank you for visiting my country. If you like, you can move here. And they're not playing. And so the reason that I say that is because a lot of our people came through Ghana. Because in Ghana, they had the two major transportation sites for the transatlantic slave trade, brother. They had the slave castles in Elmina, and then they had the slave river. And then in Elmina, in the slave castles, they had the door of no return. And then the slave river was the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I say that because, we have to learn to get connected to our ancestors and our elders. In this country, brother, it's been my experience, man, that a lot of our young people, they don't respect their elders and they don't know who their ancestors are. And that's a problem, because when that happens, Mario, you become disconnected. And that's part of that disconnection, because part of your connection in being connected to everything in the universe is being connected to your family and then to your tribe. Those are people who have the same customs, the same things, you know what I'm saying? And then when you can do that, brother, you become very powerful. And then you don't support things that hurt your community or that traditionally have hurt them. You learn to support things that empower you. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're a fucking battered community, my man. We've been beaten down, man. It ain't no fucking joke.
absolutely.
So,
But at the end of the day, all that corruption, all of that, like systematic, it's all based off and we started really losing when we came off the gold standard in 72 or 70s or whatever.
Yeah, 72. Yeah.
Now it's not being backed by gold anymore. It's being backed by promises, and those promises.
Well, it's oil, but it's being backed by oil under the threat of war.
Okay.
Like I come to you and say, Mario, I want to be friends with you, and I give you my right hand with a fucking machine gun to your head with the other one. You know what I'm saying? And then right before that, I said that to the guy in line before you, and he said he want to be my friend, and I blew his head off. Well, what you gonna say when it's your turn? You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
But that kind of shit is over now. Like, look, I tell people here all the time, please be aware of what's going on in Africa, because a lot of the goods and services that we use come from Africa. The Chinese and the Japanese and others make a lot of the electronic shit that we use.
Yeah, the products that was assembled and stuff.
But specifically electronics, Mario. But they don't have the stuff that goes inside to make it. It comes from Africa. So if we don't have a good relationship with Africa, what you gonna do with your iPhone or your Samsung for that matter? Whatever. You see that? So we need to know, because when the United States tried that shit with Mexico, they got a badass sister on there named Claudia Schomburg. And she told them, we don't have to buy Chevys and Fords. We can buy from the Chinese. They got cars that work too.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But the tariffs is gonna play a role. You know
You can't
America is not budging. Either that or you will not sell through us for the next 4 years.
Well, brother, that's a smoke screen. That's a smoke screen.
No, but that's what they did too, though. That's how China got all of them products in here in the first place.
You ever shop on Temu?
Yeah.
Okay. You see how cheap their shit is?
I don't think I've ever gotten anything from.
Well, I'm saying the other places, the other online.
Yeah, the other ones.
They all get their shit from there, brother. From
most
China.
of them do, because it's cheap. It's cheap as hell. It's cheap as hell, and they've been that's a problem.
And you don't pay taxes.
That's
it's not a problem for us.
If we got the product to sell, we should be selling it first. We should be taking care of our shit first.
Here's why,
and then
Mario,
letting in the other stuff.
In my opinion, brother, here's why tariffs don't work, right? Because tariffs, the regular folks like you and I are the ones that pay for that. Tariffs is just another word for tax. So the problem with America taxing anybody is that we don't make anything here. Yeah. So Mario, that's the problem with trying to act like you can put a tariff or a tax on another country because they want to sell their goods here, right? The problem is that you could tax anybody you want, but who's paying them taxes? So if you were paying, say you were buying this candle now, you're buying this candle here now for $5, but now they put a fucking tax on this. Who you think is going to pay the tax?
The other countries.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's why he's making
brother,
all the. That's why whatever they taxing us for the import to go to there.
Okay.
The tariff is to make sure that we end up over on top in the price, and we don't double charge them. We don't go crazy with it. We just charge what we think we deserve.
Here's the problem with that. There's two problems with that. The first one is, say that was true, that the consumer didn't pay more, right? That would be true if this candle is still $5. But if this candle is $15 now, who's paying the tax? You see that? That's the first thing. And then, do you honestly think that I'm going to sell you these candles for $5 when I used to pay $100 to ship them, but now I'm paying $1,000? You think these candles are still going to be $5, Mario?
I don't know. I think the price is actually gonna. That's the whole. See, this is where I don't see the same. I feel like the prices are gonna go down, and they have been going down.
Brother,
and these first 6 months,
we're paying more for everything.
You can't not deny.
They're paying more. You're paying more for eggs.
And now,
they said they had 73,000 jobs. It was 7,000.
But look,
this is all stuff that's for you to check out. It's not me talking.
This at the end of the day, this is how I feel. If these tariffs do work, right, and they do remove the tax from the people,
Yes.
and the prices don't not just go down,
Or not hold steady, but go down.
They go down significantly, where
Or even a little bit.
even just a little bit. But no, I think it's gonna go down significantly, and at the same time, our buying power is gonna go up significantly.
Think about
because you're not gonna be getting taxed. They're gonna remove. They already removing the tax on overtime. Now let's talk about the big beautiful bill real quick.
Okay.
They already removing tax on overtime, removing tax on Social Security, on certain veterans, and
I like
all
that.
kinds of stuff.
Those are good things.
They gave veterans he passed the bill to make sure no matter what happens, if they're a veteran, they stay in that house. Like even if they got to fight it or they got
even if they owe money on it or whatever,
they're gonna figure it out. We're not gonna throw no veterans out on the side of the road.
Hey, man,
that's crazy.
I think
they risk their lives. They risk their lives. They came back with a leg is blown off. They got a metal leg, or their face is burnt, or like some crazy shit. But they come back and they're in a wheelchair and they're like, "Damn, I still gotta figure out how to pay my bills." Like,
and listen,
he just sacrificed.
And I understand that some aspects of that bill are great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that bill for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want you to, one more time, I want you to process this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to think about what I'm saying, because you're on the air.
Yeah.
So, we want to make sure that people understand that they're dealing with an intelligent brother, right?
Absolutely.
You're selling me this for $5,
I'm selling it to you for $5.
right? Because you're paying $2 for it.
Yeah.
So you can make a $3 profit.
Got it.
If you pay $5 for this, are you still going to sell it to me for $5?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And that's what I'm trying to tell you about that. The tariffs. When you make me pay more, it automatically goes to the customer. When the electric company, right? This is a good example because you're probably familiar with this, right? When the electric company has they're building something new, who pays for that? Does the electric company pay, or do the customers pay? You get a little hike on it because they had to pay for that or whatever.
Haven't purchased anything yet. You still got to build that with your own money or your own funds, or come up with.
Well, see, then you're probably, you should look that up, because that's not the way. That's the way it's supposed to work, but that's not the way it works. Because the companies, the gas company, the electric company, they always pass.
Oh, but that's like gas company and all that. That's like
right, but it's still the same thing,
funding.
brother.
That's,
but it's the
that's
same
taxpayer
thing.
Stuff. That's
right, exactly. But
I'm
when
you're
they
talking
pay
about
more,
a private electric company.
No. But when you pay more, when the electric company has to spend more money to fix or to build shit, they pass it on to the customer, right? They don't pay for it out of their pocket.
But didn't as soon as Trump came in office, he declared a state of emergency on a certain amount of states, including this one right here, about how high the energy costs are.
Do you know what's going on
like
with
the price hikes and how much they charge and how we've been getting charged, and everybody's just like cool with it, because as long as it's not Trump in office doing it, if Biden's in office doing it.
Well, it don't matter who it is, Mario. That's my point.
No, but you see the difference when, as soon as he comes back in, everything starts alleviating and things start getting right.
Well,
look, at the end of the day, we know the Federal Reserve is not the good news. Ever since they came in play, they've been taxing the shit out of us, and we've been taxed on stuff that we don't even need to be taxed on. So if anything, he's trying to remove the Federal Reserve.
Well,
yes,
there's some of that
we just
there's some of that stuff
mistakes. We just
some of that stuff probably needs to be eradicated, Mario. It needs to be removed, like you say, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing: before you remove anything, you should see, like, you're not going to take the generator out from under your hood because you think it's an extra part. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make sure that it what it does, and it doesn't bother the function of that car before you do that. So I think some of the things that they've done, they move quickly. I think most Americans agree that we're overtaxed. You know what I'm saying? That government is too big. You know what I'm saying? I think most Americans will agree with that. But I think most Americans will also agree with the idea that, we just can't do things, You know, you don't bite your nose off to spite your face. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You do things con calma, and you make sure that it's done
as long as we
correctly.
keep this country at float and not turn into anything other than what it is, a first world. This is America. Let's keep it that way, so that if not, they're gonna be fighting to cross to coming over here to be living in exactly what they came from. That makes no sense. Well, let's keep the safety. Let's appreciate our veterans that's putting their lives on the line, and the people that go in the army, because I don't want to go out there. I'd rather stay at home, and I like this freedom, but it comes at a cost. And we're gonna pay, but they not gonna just throw us into wars. Well,
that's what the Jews are doing now.
And back to that Russian and Ukraine war, there was not there was found biolabs on the border of Ukraine, and they were thinking of releasing. I don't know if you heard Bill Gates and even Obama saying. There's going to be not one pandemic, but when the next one comes,
they accuse the Russians first of doing that. They're saying that the Russians did it first, but it doesn't matter.
They when they rushed in, which Russia was a much more powerful army. Ukraine never stood a chance until they started getting funding from us.
But they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance now.
We had no business.
You hear me? They don't have a chance now.
But either way, that's a war that
because a lot of their army is civilians now. They don't have a lot of soldiers. You know, that's a war. That's called a war of attrition. That's like the war in Israel and Palestine, but not as bad to in terms of the genocide piece. You know what I'm saying? But if it goes on for much longer, it'll be like a genocide, because Russia's just going to walk over them. You know what I'm saying? They have the manpower, they have the resources, they have the weaponry for all that shit, man. But you know, I just want people to understand that. I'm sure that Donald Trump has some good ideas, but we also have to keep in mind of all the terrible racist things he said about black people, and this is all documented. Yeah, it's documented. He's been sued. He's been sued plenty of times. And don't forget, brother, that he went to our little island and threw paper towels during the worst time of our lives. You know, I always find
married. I've seen people getting married, getting gifted a thing of paper towels during that time.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Paper towels.
Well, listen, I hear you, man.
Wasn't necessary.
Well, I think
there wasn't even
a lot of
toilet
people
paper for some odd reason. Why did anybody?
A lot of people think that it was at an inopportune time, that it was not at the right time. But he's shown that kind of callous behavior. But for me, I always look at people with wonder when they don't know their history and they have no knowledge of self. And they support people, places, and things that have and continue to decimate our communities with racism and white supremacy. You know, we need young caciques to stand up and claim and reclaim their greatness. You know, not someone who capitulates to someone who's less than you. How you gonna be? How is somebody who's less than you, Mario, gonna be in any type of leadership role for you? You know what I mean? You're a fucking cacique, brother.
I hear you. And I feel like, again, what administration is in office in Puerto Rico right now? Is the Republican side.
No, but it don't matter.
Not to pick a side or anything brother, like that, but that's the side that at least is... That side at least is making more common sense
listen to me.
Than what's going on.
They're not making any common sense.
Be realistic.
They're not making any common sense because Jennifer Gonzalez is about to be walked out. If you're watching the political structure there, the reason that the Independence Party has never made any ground there is because any time that the island had any kind of leadership, they just killed them, outright killed them. Okay, so as a general rule, Boricuas were afraid to identify it as independence. But in the last election, brother, in the last election, it was 50%. And if they do it again, it's going to be closer to 80. Because now that they know that it's not dangerous, that they have protection, they're going to come out. It's the same thing here. Police killing us in our neighborhoods are going to get killed back. Politicians who pass laws that hurt the community are going to get killed. You know what I'm saying?
They should just be voted out.
Well, you know, no, but
in the midterms, we should figure out who's making sense.
Well, some of them need
right now.
Some of them have done things that have gotten, thousands of people killed. The decisions have gotten thousands of people killed. And I believe in an eye for an eye, brother.
I
Because
hear
some
you,
of those
but
people have been.
those
I got
decisions
a brother and two
whoever
nephews
originated
that
the
died of an
decision-
overdose, my man. You understand? A brother and two nephews. And when our families were dying from fucking heroin that the white man in our communities, they didn't give a fuck. But when the white kids started dying, then they had an opioid epidemic. You know what I'm saying? When our kids were in our families were being broken apart with crack, nobody gave a fuck, right? But when because white people sniff, they didn't even smoke. But when they started smoking, then it became a problem. So we have to be always on the lookout for prophets bearing false gifts. And in this case, it would be false information. But I appreciate your point of view, man.
No, I
and
think
I'm
it's
sure
brighter.
that you have, based on your
I
experience
think
here.
it's a brighter mentality. It's not so much white people. It's just like a structure. It's basis of just an American values, and let's just get back to getting homes, affordable homes, and getting the American dream.
That's not for us. That was never for us, and there is no American value. There's no American
but us
dream.
getting robbed the whole time and liking it is crazy. I think we
Well,
should
because
definitely
when you're
switch
colonized, brother,
it.
you're
We gotta switch
colonized.
it where at least we're winning in the process, where the people are deciding and not. They're not rigging they're rigging the system. It's rigged.
Yeah, but the problem, Mario, is that
they put every president in on purpose.
I agree with you.
Plans. They know
I
what they're
agree.
doing. And this is what is. I feel like the people that really know what's going on. They understanding that Trump is fighting a bigger monster, and it's gonna be hard. They're gonna use all of their weaponry, which is media
and
everything.
here's the thing: you could be right about that, but here's the problem. See, even though Trump may be fighting a bigger monster, like you say, the issue with that is that he doesn't really care about the bigger monster. He's already shown you what he cares about. He's a white man. I told you what their God is. Trump is beholden to money. You understand, Mario? And that's why you're right. There is a bigger monster because he's not smart enough. He's not very smart.
Okay.
And now there's some shit online just saying that he may be illiterate.
Okay.
He may not know how to read well.
Yes.
Okay? When all of that is fine, right?
He's
But he doesn't care about the bigger monster, brother. He cares about money.
Yes, and his investments are in America, which is where he wants to keep it, and he's trying to just make sure China don't push up on us for taxes that we don't owe. That system that they designed and made politically and built into our system. Federal government is not even a branch of government.
I know, but check this out, brother. I don't know what your concern is with China because, as I told you, the United States has been in some type of conflict or another since damn near the Civil War, but definitely since World War One.
90% of our pharmaceuticals come from over there.
Hold on.
That's a stranglehold already.
Let me finish. Let me finish this.
Go ahead.
All right? And in all that time, since 19, I think it started. World War One started like 1913, 1914. In all them years, brother, China has not been in one conflict. One. You see that? So you keep people, not just you, but other folks, keep pointing at China as this terrible country or these terrible people or whatever.
I mean, it's
communism. But communism is not a bad thing. Well, communism is just a system of government. You don't have to like it or dislike it. Because if it's something that you don't subscribe to, then that's all it is. It's not going to hurt you because other people practice it. It's like you being a Republican and this person being a Democrat, right? But here's the thing. The other thing I would caution you with, brother, is that the Democrats are just as bad, if not worse, than the Republicans. There is no good party. Because even, the the Republicans got the president now, right? And they got the House. So what happened to the Democrats?
Ladies,
They're still eating, they're still making money. You know what I'm saying? They're still doing their thing, right? So nobody really loses. They just have access to a little bit more money than the other guys. They can steal more, but they still stealing, Mario. Don't get tricked. What we have to do, brother, what I recommend that people do.
As long as they're not stealing everything and they're leaving us, you know.
Well, you don't have to steal everything if you steal the right stuff.
But
you know what I'm saying? So, for example, listen, Social Security
at the end of the day,
is something that you pay into. It's not something that the government gives you. You pay into that from the wages that you earn. That's come out of your money. That's not the government putting it in. So that's like a savings account for you. How the fuck after working 20 or 30 or 40 years and you go to get your money and they're going to tell you it's not there? That's not acceptable. Well, that's part of the big beautiful bill, brother. Oh, no. Well, see, you gotta look at that.
Where does it say that? I need
well, you have to look at it.
We're gonna look up that part.
Yeah, man. Social Security.
Social Security.
Yeah, what they're gonna do
taking
to
it from who? Who they taking it from?
From everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah.
No.
They're starting out slow. Yes.
No.
They're starting out slow.
I don't think that's how it was written.
But Mario, we're gonna end here because I gotta run.
Absolutely.
Give me the next time.
You already know. Pleasure.
What time?
November 1910. 7 bankers meeting in secret to create America's central bank. We just can't call it that. The 1907 panic nearly destroyed us. Banks failed, fortunes vanished. We want to control America's money supply, create booms, trigger busts, and profit from both. And how will we do that? We'll create money from nothing, loan it to the government, and charge interest. Legal counterfeiting, my friends. But there's a cost. Every dollar we print steals value from existing dollars. It's a hidden tax that flows directly to us. And it gets worse. If we ever get off the gold standard, governments can print money for wars. Endless wars become possible and profitable. Since Americans hate central banks, we'll call it the Federal Reserve. Sounds governmental, doesn't it? It's not. The president will appoint board members, but we'll pick who he appoints. We'll have 12 regional banks. Looks decentralized, democratic even, but New York banks control them all. That's us. You're probably wondering how we're going to get this through Congress. December 23rd, 1913. Most of Congress home for Christmas. Perfect timing for passing unpopular legislation. I'll publicly oppose our own bill in Congress. They'll pass it thinking they beat Wall Street. We'll fund university chairs, write the textbooks. They'll teach our system as economic science. Beautiful. Every American born after this will inherit debt on money we created from nothing. Generational servitude. The Federal Reserve. Not federal, no reserves. But everyone will think it's their government protecting them.
Good afternoon.